In the chapter of gravitation, we will discuss Kepler's laws, Newton's law of gravitation, variation of G, gravitational potential, energy, escape speed, and satellite. The Kepler's law of Kepler's first law of planetary motion is this: that all planets revolve around Sun in an elliptical orbit. And Kepler's second law states that the radius vector from the Sun to the planet sweeps out equal areas in equal intervals of time. Its proof is as follows. Consider xy axis where at the origin of the axis Sun is lying and a planet is revolving around it. Suppose it covers a displacement x or delta x. So from this triangle find out the area 1 by 2 r delta x, divide it on both sides by delta t and multiply on both sides m. So delta x by delta is velocity, so ultimately it becomes L is equal to 2m delta a by delta t, where L is the angular momentum which is equal to mvr. If torque is 0, means no torque is applied on the body, then angular momentum will be definitely constant. So it means delta A by delta T is constant, means equal areas are covered in equal intervals of time. In below figure, a position of planets at different points is given, and on the right side it is a position of winter, and on left side it is a position of summers. You can clearly see equal areas are covered in equal interval of time, but the speed of the planet is more during summers. Kepler's third law states that the time period of revolution is directly proportional to the square of the time period is directly proportional to the cube of semi-major axis. So this can be proved from Newton's law of gravitation, that is gmm by r square and mr omega square, where capital M is the mass of Earth, small m is the mass of planet, omega is the angular speed of the planet revolving around the sun. Sorry, capital M is the mass of sun and small m is the mass of planet. Capital R is the radius, which we are calling it as the semi-major axis. So from here, this relation T square is directly proportional to R cube. Newton's law of gravitation states that the force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the two bodies and the inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their center of mass. Well, we can also obtain the value of acceleration due to gravity from Newton's law of gravitation, and F is equal to mg, that is the weight of the body. Consider a body is lying on the surface of Earth of mass capital M, and capital R is the radius of Earth, small m is the mass of the body. So apply Newton's law of gravitation and the weight, that is balanced. So mg is equal to gmm by r square, so small g will be equal to gm by r square. You can convert this relation into density also using relation of density is equal to mass upon volume, and volume 4 by 3 pi r cube. So you can also get g is equal to 4 by 3 pi r rho g. We can compare the value of g on the surface of Earth and on the surface of Moon. We know that on the surface of Earth, small g is equal to capital gm by r square, where m is the mass of Earth and r is the radius of Earth. Similarly, on the surface of Moon, g dash will be equal to gm by r square, where small m will be the mass of Moon and small r is the radius of the Moon. Capital M is 100 times m and capital R is 4 times r. We know that Earth is more massive and it is 100 times more massive than the Moon, and of course it is 4 times in radius than that of the Moon. So by putting these values, you will get g is equal to 6 times g dash. Variation of g with altitude. Consider a body is taken from point B, that is the surface of Earth, to a height h at a point A, then h is called altitude. Use the formula g is equal to gm by r square, and at a height h, definitely the distance is increased between the center of the mass, and that is now r plus h. So definitely g dash is equal to gm by r plus h square, where g dash is the new acceleration due to gravity at point A at an altitude h. So divide them, you will get this relation. If h is very less than r, then h by r is very less than 1. So if it is h by r square or cube or higher order terms, then they will be neglected small, because h by r is very less than 1. So do some simple mathematics like as shown in the figure. Use binomial theorem, 1 plus x raised to power n, that will be equal to 1 plus nx. Then also neglect higher order terms, you will get this relation g dash is equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. Let us discuss now variation of g with the depth d. For this, let us take the body to a depth d from the surface of earth at a point b to the point depth dA, and use this formula g is equal to 4 by 3 pi r rho g, because capital M yani mass of earth is not constant everywhere. So at point A it is definitely less than that of point B. So we are using the density of the relation for density, because density is uniform throughout. So at depth d, g dash will be equal to 4 by 3 pi r minus d rho g, because the distance from the center of earth to point A is r minus d. Divide, you will get this relation g dash equal to g into 1 minus d by r. At center d will be equal to r, so g dash will be equal to 0. That means at the center of earth the body experiences weightlessness. Variation of g with latitude. This article shows the variation of the rotation of earth. So the variation of rotation of earth, variation of g at rotation with respect to rotation of earth at equator is more observed, and at pole it is less observed. Let us say at point A the body is placed of mass small m. Now lambda is the latitude, lambda or theta is the latitude. Latitude is the position of the body A. It is an angle representing the position of body at point A with respect to equatorial line. So lambda is the angle. Now there are two forces which are acting. One is mg weight and another is a centrifugal force mr omega square. You can see small r is the radius from the axis of rotation of the earth for the point A, for the body which is lying at point A. Also calculate cos lambda, that is small r by capital R. So the angle between weight and mr omega square centrifugal force is 180 minus lambda. So take use this formula, the parallelogram law vectors, p square plus q square plus 2 p q cos theta under root is capital R. P is mg, q is mr omega square, theta is 180 minus lambda, and r is the new weight, that is the variation of g which we have to observe, mg dash. So keep m constant, cancel out, ignore or neglect omega 4, because omega is very small for earth, it is 2 pi by t. T is very large and omega is very small. You know, in one day it is 24 hours, 86,400 seconds. That makes omega very less, or fraction. You will get the relation like this: g dash is equal to g square minus 2 r omega square lambda 1 by 2. Common, take common g and use binomial theorem. You will get g dash is equal to g minus r omega square. Put the value of small r, that is equal to capital R cos omega cos lambda. So this will be equal to g dash is equal to g minus r omega square cos square lambda. At pole lambda is 90 degree, so g dash is equal to g, that is the no variation is observed at pole, means lesser effect of rotation or latitude is observed at pole, whereas that of equator lambda is 0. So which is equal to g dash equal to g minus r omega square. So acceleration due to gravity is lesser at equator than that of pole. Gravitational potential energy. Consider a body is taken from point P to Q for a distance dx. Then find out the work done. F dot dx, fx f dx cos theta, theta is 0, so cos 0 is 1, so it is f dx. Use the formula f is equal to gm by x square, Newton's law of gravitation. Solve it, and x1 x2 are the limits. That means let us say that we have to take the body from point B to C. You will get the value w is equal to gmm 1 by x1 minus 1 by x2. Suppose if x1 is r, means body is taken from surface of earth, then x1 will be equal to r. To a altitude h, then x2 will be equal to r plus h. Put these values, and suppose if h is very less than r, then obviously h by r is very less than 1, and h by r square terms will be neglected. So w will be equal to gmm upon r 1 minus r by r plus h. So use the steps and put the value of g is equal to small g is equal to capital Gm by r square. You will get work or potential energy is equal to mgh. Escape speed. It is a minimum speed with which a body is thrown from the surface of earth so that it may escape out the gravitational pull of earth. So for this we have to balance kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. Kinetic energy is half mv square, where v is the escape speed, and potential energy gmm by r square, because x1 is r and x2 is infinity, because we have to throw it to infinity. Why? Because it is to be free from the gravitational pull. So second point is very far away. So from here we will get the value of ve 2 gm by r or 2 small g r. It is 11.2 kilometer per second. Let us go to an altitude of height h from the tower. Throw bodies as shown in the figure. If we throw the body with very less speed, it will reach to the point A. Just increase the speed, it will reach to B or C. And if the gravitational force is balanced by a centripetal force, then the body will start rotating around the earth with orbital velocity v0. This is the principle of launching satellite. So let us calculate orbital velocity. As I have told you, we have to balance the gravitational force gmm upon r plus h square, that is the distance, h is the height of the tower, r is the radius of earth, and use the centripetal force mv square by r plus h, where v naught is orbital velocity. From this relation you will get velocity of v naught, that is gm upon r plus h. And also if h is 0, means near the surface, then relation will change, that will be equal to under root of gr. For calculating the time period, use the formula v is equal to distance upon time. Distance is what? Distance is the circumference 2 pi r plus h, and time period. So you can calculate the value of time period. You use the value of v naught gm upon r plus h under root, put here, you will get the value of t, and that is this relation. And similarly, by rearranging the terms in this equation, you can get the value of h from this relation, and this will be the value of h by rearranging the terms. If time period is 24 hours, means we are using a geostationary satellite. Geostationary satellite is that satellite which runs parallel to the surface of earth, means with respect to our position it remains always constant, and we are covering 24 hours. We reach to the same point after 24 hours, means the time period of geostationary satellite is 24 hours. Then putting this value, h is 36,000